Okay, so now we've met all of the conditions. All that's left now is to see the end. Oh, and I don't think... Can I skip this? The space they found themselves in outside of the wheelhouse is far too narrow to be called a hallway. Oh, no, wait, we can skip this. Ah, no. No, we got this Morse code bullshit. Yeah, goddamn. One more fucking puzzle. Damn! Still, this is odd, isn't it? He's got the that's the number 6 bracelet. It's not a 0 bracelet, but a 6. Ah, shit. I remember this one. Zero. Oh, I can't skip this. Well, if he wasn't one of us, there's no way that man could be 0. Don't you get it? The letters that spell 0 on the TV screen? The captain's clothes he got on. And of course the bracelet with 0 on it. It's too obvious. Look, look, this is 0 right here. This dead body is 0. Does that seem kind of funny to you? Yeah, you're right. Only an idiot would see through something like that. No, that's not the point. I'm not trying to make fun of them for thinking a trick like this would work. I'm sure they didn't think it would work, which makes me wonder, why did they do it? I think this is a challenge. A challenge from the person who's really behind all of this. He's making fun of us. Don't you get it? If whoever killed this guy really wanted us to think this corpse was 0, they never have put a bracelet on it. Walking about with a 0 bracelet would be like hanging a sign around your neck that said, I did it. Anyone with a brain would be able to see that this guy is supposed to look like everything 0 is supposed to be. Just like we did. The killer must have known we wouldn't think he was 0, and put the bracelet on him anyway. Do you know why? Why? Like I said, he's mocking us. Too bad, suckers. This isn't 0. It's the same bad joke a lot of criminals like to play. They'll just sit back and watch people run in circles. Look, here I am. What's wrong, guys? Come on, catch me if you can. That's really twisted. But it almost seems kind of childish. Yeah, you're right. It's really childish. It's like it's just a game to whoever the person is. Whoever this person is. That's just what seems funny to me. Junpei bent down next to the corpse. Alright, let's get back to the point. Who killed this man? I don't know. And what's this guy's deal? Who is he? How would I know that? If I knew anything, I would have told you. You have no idea who he is? Why would I? Junpei sat back on his haunches and thought. We should check and see if he's got anything on him. That might tell us who he is. Give me a hand here, Clover. What? We've got to flip him over. How else are we going to search his pockets? Clover didn't move. Junpei had no choice but to move the body on his own. He grabbed hold of an area not completely covered in blood and shoved. It took a moment, but eventually Junpei felt the man's bulk begin to shift. But just as it did, something fell from the man's left wrist. The bracelet was 0 on the face. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1, you escape from this ship. 2, your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of this ship, or detects that where his heartbeat is fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. Junpei stared at the bracelet. This man, he's dead, isn't he? Detective Junpei! Huh? No, it's just... I guess I didn't really think about it until right now. If his bracelet's off, that means he's dead. That's pretty obvious he's dead. You don't really need to look at his bracelet to figure that one out. Yeah, I guess you're right. It is pretty obvious. He looks a lot better than the other bodies we've seen though, you know? I mean, if there wasn't all this blood, he'd almost look like he was still alive. I mean, I know it's kind of a messed up thing to say, but he kind of has it better, you know? dying from a bomb going off inside you? I mean, that's just... Junpei. Summer Snake's bones went right through his skin. I think the explosion must have thrown him against a wall or something, you know? Mutilating his face, busting everything about him, you know? Completely deforming him beyond recognition. That's pretty fucked up, right, Clover? This dude's got it good. There's a broken bone just sticking out of his left arm. Here we go. Suddenly, Junpei realized what he was saying. How could he have been so cruel? He clapped his hands over his mouth. But it was already too late. He turned to look at Clover. She was glaring at him furiously. What did you just say? Her words sounded cold. He knew an apology could hardly atone for what he's done, but he tried anyway. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I really didn't know what I was thinking. I mean, no. That's not what I'm talking about. What did you say about his arm? Arm? Yes, his left arm. You said it, didn't you? Well, yeah, I did, but... I mean, didn't you see it too? Of course not. I could barely look at him. Clover took a quick, deep breath. Are you sure it was his left arm? Junpei fought back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And he had a broken bone, right? The hell are you getting at here? Just shut up and answer me. She shoved her face closer to his. He could see the fire in her eyes. Junpei winced and swallowed. Yeah, he did. It was pretty bad too. The bone was sticking out of the arm. No sooner were the words out of his mouth than Clover's expression changed. Suddenly she was crying. Junpei wasn't sure what to do. Thank you. It was close to the last thing he had expected to hear. Junpei had no idea what just happened. He didn't think he'd done anything worthy of thanks, and he couldn't understand why she would have chosen that moment to begin crying. So he simply stood there confused. Thank you, Junpei. She thanked him again, and then something even stranger happened. The fuck is going on here? Clover-chan. Clover threw herself into Junpei's surprised arms. What's going on with you? I'm sorry, it's just, I'm so happy. Why? The body in the shower room? It isn't his. It isn't my brother. Huh? It's not Snake. Why on earth would you think that? Because his left arm is... She stopped herself. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be talking about this. Junpei decided it would be prudent not to press her for any more information. If she did not wish to tell him, she certainly had a reason for doing so. Perhaps more importantly, however, if Clover was so certain, then she was likely right. That meant that the body in the shower room wasn't Snake. It wasn't much, but the knowledge lifted some of the weight from Junpei's heart. He's still alive. I'm so happy. Tears shone in her eyes. Those tears melted Junpei's heart. As she cried, she had pushed herself up against his chest like a child. Junpei put his arms around her and held her tight. Junpei, you were right. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith, and to have luck. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck. Clover reached into her pocket and pulled something out. It was a laminated bookmark with a 4-leaf clover. I only made it here because you gave me this. I was suspicious of everybody, and I was angry and miserable. But because I had this 4-leaf clover, because of what you said to me, Junpei hadn't thought his words would have had such an effect on her. Her words were making him feel a little awkward. Thank you so much, Junpei. She looked up at him. He scratched his nose and pretended to notice something interesting somewhere else in the room. If you really want to thank somebody, you should be thanking Santa. Santa? Why? Well, he was the one who gave me that thing. And the words for each leaf, I got that from him too. And suddenly, Clover broke away from Junpei. Huh? He looked confused. He hadn't thought she'd reacted that poorly. Clover began to pace across the room. 6 steps to the left, 6 steps to the right. Another 6 to the left, and then she stopped. Did Santa really tell you those things? Her eyes were serious, but not angry. Yeah, he did. Did I say something wrong? Oh no, not at all. In fact, this could be really good news. I think. You think? Santa knew about the words and the clover. The only people who should know about that are other subjects. Other subjects! I knew it! Alright. Subjects? The other people who were in the experiment 9 years ago. With my brother and me. I knew it. But he's blind. And I was part of the Nevada test group. So neither of us would be able to recognize the faces of the people who are on this boat. Whoa, 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 time out. Junpei held up his hands. He took a deep breath and let it out. Let's just calm down for a second, okay? Start from the top. Don't start with the end and then jump to the middle. You gotta start at 1 and then move to 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. If you don't tell me stuff in the right order, I am never gonna be able to figure it out. Clover nodded. Alright, let's start with this experiment. What happened on this boat 9 years ago? Do you know about morphogenetic fields? He did, and the realization sent chills down Junpei's spine. Have we all been in this experiment? She told us about this, yeah. Junpei recounted what Lotus had told him earlier. Clover nodded. Telepathy, huh? Well, that's not really it, but I suppose it's similar. So, they were testing telepathy on this ship? Yeah, I guess so. So what exactly did they have you guys do? The same thing that we're doing now. Exactly the same thing. What? The nonary game. 9 people were put on this boat, and 9 others were put into the building in Nevada. And the game started. Junpei grabbed the sides of his head. Look, I'm sorry, but I don't get it. What did the nonary game and some telepathy experiment have to do with each other? Clover bit her lip. She blinked back sudden tears. What had happened to her in Nevada? The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger. You know how sometimes when you're up against a really tough problem, and then the answer just kind of pops into your head? That's an epiphany. And what you learn from the epiphany can be transmitted with telepathy. When you add danger to that equation, then it gets easier to transmit that information over telepathy. So you're saying the nonary game was supposed to introduce that element of danger? Yeah, but it couldn't be just an old danger. It had to be life or death. And someone did actually die. A girl. Junpei felt the sudden grip of despair in his heart. Something deep, distant, and powerful squeezed in a moment, and for a moment he felt very, very empty and alone. She was on the boat with my brother. I was in Nevada, so I never met her, but I did hear her name. Her name was, I swear. Junpei spun around. Ace! No! Fuck your apologies! Take them and shove them, Ace! Shove them hard! Oh, frick! I wonder what her name was. We don't know June's name, do we? Well, they don't know June's name. We do. Akane. I wonder if it was Akane. I wonder if she apparently died on that ship. That's my guess. Oh, my apologies. I seem to have disturbed you. Wait a second. So what if we also have that same condition as well? What if we're not able to distinguish the real June who died from this imposter? And the others can't distinguish her because they've never met her before. and they don't know her name because she's being referred to as June, hence not raising any flags with her real name. Is June really June? Ace! You two must have strong stomachs. I can't imagine how you could stay in this room for so long. Yeah, you're just a type to just kill and run, aren't you? Ace glanced at the floor, at the corpse covered in blood. At any rate, Junpei, would you be so kind as to come and help me with something? I'm having a little trouble and I could really use your assistance. Come on, it'll only take a moment. Fuck you, Ace! With that, he turned and walked back to the communicator. Like a dick. Clover waited until he was out of sight, then spoke in a small, quiet voice. I don't want Ace to hear us. We can talk about this later. Oh, wait! Wait! Clover ignored him. From outside, Junpei could hear Ace calling. Junpei, what are you doing in there? Hurry up. Arg! Grumbling to himself, Junpei stomped off toward the communications office. Totally, man. Fucking totally. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, Ace. I just don't want to hear it. Motherfucker! Okay, we got a piece of paper. We need that little box thingy, music box. And we needed something to open it with, didn't we? That was the thing needed to open it. Okay. Right. I wonder what this actual code is saying. You know, I can't decode Morse code, but I wonder what this is saying. Like, this actual message right now. That's the last one. Hey, yeah. Oh, this was the, yes, all ice. And we can't skip this. This is new. Alice. Did that mean? Junpei couldn't hold back. He had to know what was in that file. Each page was coded with strange characters. Ah, we can skip this. Damn. I was hoping for something new. There's supposed to be a key to the library on the bottom deck. So it would seem. The bottom deck. The library. Junpei remembered something he heard from Seven when they were in the chemical closet. Alice sleeps in a small chamber past a forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic. Did beneath the navel mean the bottom deck? Did forest of knowledge mean the library? If it did, then was Alice in a room somewhere beyond the library? Oh shit. What's wrong? Junpei blinked. Only then did he notice Ace looking at him, curiosity and concern written across his face in equal parts. There was no reason for Junpei to hide his thoughts. He began to explain his theory to Ace. Bad idea. Then he stopped. It wouldn't make any sense if Ace didn't know who Alice was supposed to be. So he told Ace everything June had told him. About the Egyptian priestess. About Ice 9. And finally, about the woman who wouldn't melt, who had been recovered from the Titanic disaster. He told him about how she had already been called All Ice, which had eventually turned to Alice. And how she had been purchased by an English millionaire who called himself Lord Gordane. And how Gordane had hid Alice somewhere on the ship. And do you think that he hid her in a small room beyond the library? On the bottom deck? Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess so. I see. Ace stared off into the distance, his hand slowly and absent-mindedly stroking his beard. After a few moments, he had stopped. He turned slowly to look at Junpei and his brows drew together. Junpei, have you ever heard of the term CAS? CAS? It stands for Cells Alive System. It is an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter. Put simply, it is a technique that allows one to freeze things without the formation of ice crystals. Normally, if you freeze something fresh, water within its cells expands and crystallizes, damaging the cell membrane. CAS, however, works differently. The object to be frozen is supercooled using magnetic fields, and then frozen instantly and uniformly, giving ice crystals no time to form. It was originally developed for the preservation of food, as an alternative to normal freezing process. Now, however, there are rumors that it can be used for other things. What do you mean, other things? Well, there are obvious medical uses, but perhaps also space travel. Space travel? You serious? Surely you've heard of suspended animation, cryogenic freezing? It's a fairly common idea in science fiction books and films. People are sometimes frozen for especially lengthy journeys through space. That was when Junpei understood what Ace was suggesting. Whoa, wait a minute there. Ace looked and raised an eyebrow. Are you saying that Alice was frozen using the CAS thing? Well, I'm sure the possibility is quite low, but it is a possibility. This special ice you call Ice 9 does indeed exist. And if CAS was used to freeze her into this sort of ice instantaneously, you think she could be alive? Well, I can't say for sure, of course. I'm only talking about possibilities. The melting point for Ice 9 is 96 degrees, right? If you would put somewhere where she could reach that temperature. That's nuts. Are you really saying she would have defrosted and started walking about? You're quite right. It does sound unbelievable. But if she had, then we would have an explanation for the man we found dead on the floor. You mean the guy dressed like a captain? Yes. He was dead when we found him. Clearly he was murdered. But if he was murdered, then by who? It couldn't have been one of us. That would be impossible. In order to enter the captain's quarters, one must first open door 1. That door that requires that earth key prevented us from accessing door 1. Who was it that opened that door? Santa and Lotus. Right. Clearly the two of them could not have opened door 1, or any other for that matter. Who else then could have done so? Junpei thought for a second. No. Nobody. After Santa and Lotus had used the earth key, they turned back and met up with Junpei and June, who had just returned from E-Deck. The four of them then proceeded to return to the large hospital room to reunite with Ace, 7 and Clover. When Junpei and his team had gone into the shower room, Ace, 7 and Clover had been left in the large hospital room. But they wouldn't have been able to open door 1. Perhaps when Junpei and June had taken the elevator to door 2 then? No, that would have been impossible. They were gone only 5 minutes. No human being could have run to the captain's quarters, killed the man in there, and run back in 5 minutes. It would be impossible for any of us to be the murderer. That being the case, who could have killed him? Would it make sense if this killer was someone who had been in the ship for some time? A person like that would know the ship well. They would know the locations of all the hidden passages and secret doors. The numbered doors would mean nothing to them like that, to someone like that. It would be a simple thing for them to enter the captain's quarters. Then you're saying the killer was Alice? It was Junpei's turn to raise an eyebrow. Ace drew his thumb across his lips thoughtfully. Well, this is all only one possible theory. All ice. Alice. Was Alice indeed somewhere on the ship with them? Junpei had only one clue. The key card in his hand. It would, he hoped, grant him access to the Forest of Knowledge. But beyond that, what waited for him beyond the Forest of Knowledge? Whatever might be there, however, would have to wait. At the moment, there was nothing Junpei could do. He gripped the key card tighter and shoved it deep into his pocket. Oh, bollocks! What was this key for again? I totally forgot.
I'm gonna go in here.
Ah, here. Okay, so it was 0 with the yeah. Ah, blah blah. Okay, so now I need to get this right, man, because I kept fucking it up hard last time, man. So, so 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, 32. Wait, was that 31? Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So 35. 35. I'm just gonna put that in here to remember. 35. And E, so that would be 14. 16. Oh wait. 16, 17, 18. Wait. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And 0. So 26, 25, 24. 24. Okay, sweet. Alright. 35. Oh, tits, get off me, tutorial. 35. 14. 27. 25. Yes! Get me out of here! I hate that puzzle! Yeah! Clover jump, let's go! Oh, I don't even want to talk about it, son. Let's just bounce. Yes, I'm using the Steam chat to type the code. Oh god, she's got the fucking hand, son! She's losing it! A note? Oh god. Oh god. Okay, this is gonna start cracking, so I'm gonna get me a drink before we get into this, man. Oh, she's got the fucking stuffed mitts. No, dude. Oh, get out of here. I'll be right back.